Hi there, and welcome to Limitless, the space where your big dreams meet grounded energy and mastering manifestation becomes your new normal. I'm Alyssa Simpson, mindset and manifestation coach, your unorthodox free spirit, and now your newfound permission slip to do life your way. Here, we break the rules by ditching societal norms of the hustle and grind. We embrace flow, alignment, and the bold decision to follow what lights you the fuck up. In each episode, I'll be sharing soul downloads, mindset shifts, energetic upgrades, and raw, authentic stories to help you unlock your magnetism, collapse timelines, and create a life that feels as good as it looks. So if you're ready to remember who you are, trust your desires, embody your highest self, and manifest from your authentic power, it's time to sit back, relax, and get ready to become limitless. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Limitless. Oh, let's just take a deep breath together, shall we? I actually just spoke about this on my YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed to the tube, do so. Do so, because I don't know. I really try to keep it like clean and concise with where all of the things that I talk about go. But sometimes your girl just starts rambling and going off, and we just don't get the opportunity to put it all in one place. And in my mind, I'm like, of course, if people are listening to the podcast, they're definitely listening to everything I'm talking about on YouTube, and then they're reading all my emails. But I know that that isn't always the case. So if you haven't already heard this conversation, congrats, you're going to hear it for the first time. If you've already heard me talking about it through the vlog that I posted on my YouTube, you're going to hear it again, but maybe you'll get a little something different out of it this time because, I don't know, for me, whenever I repeat stuff, I feel like the second or third time there's always something a little bit more potent to be added, or maybe not. I don't know. But, like I recorded it, talked about it, sat on it, slept with it. It's been a few days, and now I'm bringing it back to the pod, to you all. So welcome. Hello. How are you? We are just a few weeks away from launching Restfully Rich. And within that, the conversations that I'm having with the women who have applied are honestly so eye-opening. And the one beautiful thing that I love about Restfully Rich and the whole process of me building Restfully Rich is it is unlike any other coaching container that is on the market. It is unlike any other program that you've ever been in because I refuse to keep doing things the same way. And we really aren't making a whole lot of change, right? Through the lens of when you are desiring to become restfully rich, there is a different level of energy and embodiment that have to go into it. We cannot keep doing the same structural things that we've been doing and putting lipstick on it and calling it being restfully rich. And what I mean by that is so much of the entrepreneurial space and business building, and even like women who work in general, you don't even have to own a business, you're a working woman, whatever. You are doing it under the umbrella of the way that it's been done through masculine energy. And I don't give a shit if you are fully women-owned business, you are still doing it in some capacity through the masculine lens. And this is exactly why women get burnt out and overwhelmed, and they are overcompensating for their own feminine energy so that they can still receive and become rich and wealthy and stay rich and wealthy. So I cannot continue to lead and coach the way that the coaching industry has kind of been like foundationally done, which is master classes, workshops, workbooks that you fill out, scheduled Zoom calls or whatever the fuck. So Restfully Rich is entirely different through the lens of it's not done in your normal coaching capacity, number one. Number two, it is also different because it's a living thing, right? I don't have this structure to it. Like I told y'all in a few episodes ago, the framework of Restfully Rich and what you can expect on the inside, but it's not done structurally. Like I don't have like on my calendar, a scheduled blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. I don't have like a whole Google Drive folder full of this shit, because I am not doing this program the way that other programs have been done because I myself am on the journey of being restfully rich. I'm unlearning all of the things that I have learned. I am stepping into a new identity, and doing so there are things that are happening that I'm like, damn, if someone would have taught me it this way, have guided me through it this way, I would have done it so much quicker, so much faster, so much more efficiently. So your girl has been going through it so that I can truly lead from a place of been there, done that. Now we're on the other side, and here's how you can do it too. But also, the other layer to that is I naturally coach through the energy of whoever my client is, my coaching client is, because we are all so different. We all cannot do a copy and paste system and expect the same results. So the caveat to that is I'm only working with women who are used to being the strong ones, who are used to being the ones that hold everything together, because if they don't, shit's going to hit the fan. I work with women who are very high functioning, ambitious, even borderline, like chronically high functioning, because I myself am that way. And I'm unlearning that and I'm shedding that piece of me, stepping into a more restful era. And I don't even want to keep saying that I'm stepping into it. Like I've already stepped into it. Like we're already there. But the whole process of leading up to restfully rich being born is the stepping into it process, if that makes sense. So all of that to say, your girl has had another really real realization through all of this. And I had to ask myself, I've told y'all so many times before that I am abundant as fuck, and 90% of my abundance does not come from my business. And I have worn that as almost like a shame, kind of like my own personal shame. Like, Alyssa, you've been doing business for so many years now. You should be so much further along than you are. And then at the same time, another piece of me is like, but who gives a fuck where the abundance is coming from? Why are you so hell-bent on making it come through your business? You're being guided and supported regardless. Why does it matter how it happens? And both of those can be very true. So I had to really ask myself, because I was like, as someone who is restfully rich, leading others to their restful rich era, what is so bothersome to me about why the abundance hasn't come through my business? And I sat with it, and I had the real life aha moment when I was recording my vlog that is on my YouTube channel. You can go check it out, where I realized where the fuck it stems from. And it stems from when I was working. And you know what? We're also going to rip another band-aid off here, because for the entirety of my entrepreneurial career, I've never named where I worked, because I was like, oh my God, I don't want them to ever feel like I'm bashing them, or like I will never be that person who talks poorly about the people who employed me or whatever. And I've never even talked shit, because I don't have any ill will about the whole chapter of my life that was working in the restaurant industry. And I was like, I always say it as I was a manager for a multi-million billion dollar company, managing it, whatever. And it was Olive Garden. Hello, are you listening? Did you hear that right? It was Olive Garden. I worked for Olive Garden. Got promoted when I was 21 to management. I worked there as a server, as a to-go specialist, as a bartender, as a trainer, as a assistant manager, all these things. Got promoted to full-blown management when I was 21. And I was with the company as a manager until I was 25. I total worked with them for 8 years, managed for 5, and opened up a brand new restaurant with them, which was a very, very unlikely thing for me to do, just because of my age and my little experience that I had. But like I told y'all, I got that dog in me. You put something in front of me that I want, I'm going to have it. And I wanted to open up that restaurant, and I did. And we're here. Okay. But anyways, it was from when I worked at Olive Garden, because when I was there, that's when I lost both of my parents and my father-in-law, all within a year span of each other. And so it was the level of that success that I had, and I tied it to, well, I wasn't really allowed to be with my family, my people that I loved the most, when they needed me the most. And there was a lot of guilt and shame and resentment that came with that, because I was like, how the fuck was I putting this stupid job over being there for my mom after she lost her husband? And then the whole, thought in my brain was like, could I have helped her from committing suicide if I was more there for her and not at my fucking job? And that's such a fucked off thought, because it's not true, because it doesn't matter what I did, like my role in both of them passing has nothing to do with me and everything to do with just them and their journey. And so just having to like unpack that piece of it again, and unpack that limiting belief again. And then I had to tie it back into, okay, well, where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like if I get to a certain level of success, I won't be able to hold it all because to me, my time freedom, my ability to be with the people I love most is way has a higher price tag on it than anything else. And so I had this belief that once I had a very successful business financially, then I would have to sacrifice my family, my time, my freedom, my will, right? Because after I lost my dad, I got 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks of bereavement pay, and then I had to go back into a leadership role. Then my mom committed suicide May 1st, got 2 weeks bereavement pay. Then the day that I came back was Mother's Day because I was required to work that day. It was it's the busiest day of the year for that company. And so having to work on Mother's Day after my mom just committed suicide, like crazy, but I had to do it, right? Like I didn't have a choice. Like what the fuck, you know? Looking back, I did have a choice. I could have told him to eat ass and let me, take time with my family. Like how, like, what the fuck? But the company was more worried about their bottom line than whatever the fuck Alyssa was going through at the time. And so all of that became this like hardwired belief in me that that level of success where my business, my job, my career, whatever is allowing me to live the life, like pay my bills, have a home, have a car, have vacations, whatever, it meant that I wasn't allowed to be living for a living. And that isn't true. That isn't true at all. That was just what my life looked like then. But I had to go through that in order to do what I'm doing now. And having that realization, I'm working through the tail end of like rewiring that belief because here's the truth of that. And if you're someone who's listening and you're like, holy shit, like you are hitting the nail on the hammer. What is it? Hitting the hammer. What is it? What is it saying? Hitting the hammer on the head, whatever the fuck. If I'm bringing it home to you and you're like, this feels so resonant for me. Um, here's the beautiful piece of that is success, true actual success actually allows you autonomy, which the success that I was living in back then was not actual success. It was having enough money to support the life that I lived at the time. And when I quit that job and I said, I'm fucking out, life is too short, I can't be doing this anymore, I was provided for beautifully by the universe because I finally put my money where my mouth was and said, I am not going to do this anymore because number one, it's not worth my fucking life to be here. It's not worth me having to go through this again with any other loved one or anything. Like I why the fuck am I putting this job over life? And I was thinking back on it too, and I was like, I missed so many birthdays, holidays, vacations, adventures with my family because I was tied to this job, which I also tied to being successful, right? I wore that as like a badge of honor. I was like, oh my God, like I'm only 21 years old and they trusted me with the keys to this billion-dollar company and I'm doing so well and I get great performance reviews and I have all of these like really awesome feathers in my cap for this job that I'm doing. I should be so thankful and grateful and I have to like put them first because look at what they're allowing me to do when the truth is I allowed me to get to that level of success. It was all me. It wasn't someone else. So because that is true, that's also true that I'm allowed to design my life the way that I want it to be designed and lived and know for a fucking fact that I can bring it to fruition because I got that dog in me. Honestly, this episode should be titled I Got That Dog in Me, but we probably won't name it that, but it should be. But just know, I need to get t-shirts. I need to get t-shirts made that say, I got that dog in me, and it's a picture of me doing this. For those of you just listening and not watching, I was banging my chest with a silly face on my face. But yeah, so that is currently where we're at and the realization that I've had. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is number one, if you feel like, yep, been there, done that, currently going through it, whatever, get inside of Restfully Rich. And number two, I'm also sharing it because I want you to know that like you never stop learning and unlearning things about yourself. As someone who is in the personal wellness development space, I also know to its core that we are always evolving, we are always shifting, we are always stepping into the version of us that we are ultimately here to become every single day. And yes, there's also time to kind of be like just chilling and coasting with wherever you're at in your personal development journey. But then you're going to keep getting met with the same things that you're unhappy with until you decide to make a change. And I'm making a change. I don't like that I am so just weird about like business and success and finances and business and all these things. So I'm changing it. And I'm, instead of asking myself like why haven't I been able to do this, I'm taking matters into my own hands, and I'm saying, you know what, I am capable and able and worthy and deserving enough to actually start seeing my business become what I want it to be financially, and not just have it be something that I'm saying that I'm doing it because my passion, when really, like, yes, it's my passion, but also it's my livelihood, and I need to be having the same relationship with it that I do the other avenues in my life that allow me to be super supported and super wealthy and super abundant, because that's what I desire, you know? But also, it's okay if things don't always, if you, and here's the thing too, this is a very nuanced thing for me, because I literally, whenever I have clients that come to me and they're talking about like their goals and like what they want to bring to fruition, and they tell me like, but you know, my business isn't. And I'm always like, well, why the fuck does it need to come through your business? Why the fuck do you need to have all these things come through your business? And it always stumps them, because they're like, well, that's like the point of it, right? And literally every single one of my clients has been shown that abundance can come to them through other ways outside of their business, because I allow them to like basically do what I've done and see what I've seen and get in the energy that I'm in, of like being open to any and all options. Because when you are so bottlenecked and when you are so like it has to come through this one specific way, the universe is like, all right, if you want to take control, then that's going to be your bag. But when you live in the world of co-creation, you understand that you are the feminine energy and the universe is the masculine energy, where you are the dreamer, the decider, the visionary, and the universe is the deliverer. That's how that works. So it's a two-parter here. Take what you will from it. Get your ass inside of Restfully Rich. We start so fucking soon. This is the place that you want to be in order to live your true Restfully Rich era. And I'll see you next week. Bye. I'm so grateful that you tuned in today. If this episode activated something in you, share it with a bestie who's also ready to become limitless. And don't forget to leave a review to help more people find this space. Wanting more? Get on my email list and subscribe to my YouTube channel for exclusive downloads, mindset shifts, and behind-the-scenes magic that I only share there. The link is in the show notes. Until next time, keep trusting the pull, honoring your energy, and manifesting your most abundant life.